sky, sunrise, butterflies might make you happy. White sand, Disneyland, holding hands might make you smile.
Nicole, how have you been? It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk. How have you been holding up with this whole new, different world? I mean, I don't know how people are getting through this, but man, it is tough. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to keep myself busy, but yeah, it's definitely a kind of crazy world that we live in right now, and I've for sure had my ups and downs. You know, some day it seems fun that we all get to stay home, and then some days I'm going crazy that I haven't seen anyone in like a year.
Because I'm trying to remember, when did we talk? I know we talked last year, and I think it was around the beginning of the pandemic, if I'm correct.
Yes, I think
it was summertime we spoke.
Yes, I think it was before Broken Boys came out, my last single. So yeah, we hadn't been at the pandemic for too long when we last talked. Now I can't believe it's March again.
Yeah, exactly. So what adjustments have you had to do from touring and, one-on-one interviews and things like that, and, meet and greet with fans to doing what you have to do now because of COVID-19 and because we've been in this for more than a year now? How have you had to adjust your career and your personal life as well, too?
Well, mostly career-wise, I think it's been a lot of creativity at home. What can you do as an artist to sort of stay connected with your fans and the interviewers and people out there who appreciate your music, and, kind of what's the creative way to do that right now. And it's definitely been a learning curve. I feel like I'm learning a lot of new technology myself on, recording things at home and doing all these live shows at home. But I think in a way it's kind of cool because, I've been able to learn all these new skills that will hopefully, even once we go back to regular live in-person shows, that's something I'll still take with me and be able to do these kind of at-home creative projects.
You had released your EP, All Women. What was the reaction for that for you, especially the meaning behind the music on that?
Great. I mean, you never know during a pandemic. Obviously, I couldn't go out and tour, but I still had a lot of really great response for the album, have connected with a lot of new fans over the album online, and especially female fans. And of course, that's who I was trying to reach, specifically with my song and album All Women, and it's great to be able to connect with those females and find those like-minded ladies out there.
No, I'm trying to remember. Were you doing a YouTube show or an Instagram show or something like that, sort of like on the same subject?
Yes. So I host a Facebook Live show called All Women. I actually have one tonight on March 4th to celebrate Women's Month. And so, yeah, I host them once a month, and they have all female lineups. So we just chit-chat about being a female in the industry, and then we get to enjoy some live music from all the ladies.
Now, because you've been doing all this stuff, I just want to ask a little bit of advice, because you see a lot of people are doing Instagram Live and they're doing YouTube shows and things like that. What are some of the mistakes that we are making when it comes to our on-screen product? Because I remember seeing yours. Yours was great, relighting, repositioning, things like that. What are some of the mistakes do you think that some people are making trying to create what you created?
Well, I definitely think quality of, what the show looks like visually, and of course your sound is super important. And a lot of us are kind of learning as we go here. I mean, some of my first Instagram and Facebook Live shows were total disasters and did not sound great. But I think that's definitely important. People that are tuning in online to watch your art and listen to your music, it's kind of frustrating when you tune in as a listener and it's like you can't really hear it, or, it's really blurry. So I think quality of the sound and the video is so important, especially because it's the only way to get your art out right now.
You must be getting a kick out of this. I know I am, that during this pandemic, there are so many things that I have learned. Was that one of the things or goals for yourself because you talked about, I got, new equipment, things like that. I know for myself, that's all I've been doing for the last couple of months is getting new equipment and learning how to use it. And once I've learned it, I'm like, oh, this is great, which leads me to be able to do other projects. You have to be feeling great that not only are you still being able to write great music, but like I said, learning things that maybe a year ago you would never even thought of even thinking about.
Absolutely. I mean, so many of us, as artists with our careers, it's always go, go, go. And there's things that I've always kind of wanted to spend time learning, but, in usual busy daily life, you don't necessarily have the time. And being home and, kind of being forced to learn all these new technologies has actually been a total blessing. I feel like as an artist, I'm more well-rounded in, my skills and some of the things that I know how to do myself now. And I'm pretty proud of myself.
Is there something that you are doing now that has nothing to do with the career that you haven't had a chance to do before, and during the pandemic, you're just like, finally, I am going to do this?
I think spending a little more time on self-care, self-reflection, meditating, just kind of taking time for myself. I've always been a very go, go, go person, and I think a lot of artists are, since, we own our own business. There's not a lot of time for slowing down and stopping. And I've realized how easy it is to get burnt out, always going. And so lately I've taken a lot more time and feeling less guilty for taking that time for myself and just kind of relaxing.
Amen to that. But you still are go, go, go. You got a brand new single out. What's the single called and what's it about, please? And I'm just curious, is the name really what the story is all about?
So the new single is called Sad Song, and although the song is about sad songs, it's not necessarily a sad song in itself. The song is all about the feeling that we get from listening to a sad song. I think as fans of music, we all love a good sad song when we're feeling sad because it kind of understands us in that moment, kind of makes us feel less alone. And so this song is kind of all about that feeling, about the feeling that you get when you listen to a good sad song.
Record, there's just something about a sad song. Every time it comes on, makes you wanna turn it up and sing every word. There's just something about a rain cloud. Every time it pours out, isn't it the best sound you ever heard? Who needs a sunny day to chase the blues away?
Saying that sad songs are our friends.
Right? It's the best medicine.
What made you decide to take this approach? It's funny. There's a song back in the 80s by Billy, I can't think of his last name. Well, the song is called There'll Be Sad Songs. And it kind of takes that approach. Now, I have not heard that in like so many years. So you're the first person in decades to really take that approach for me. Why did you decide to take that approach?
Well, I have to give credit to the writers of the song because I am actually not a writer on the song. So big credit to Emily, Karen Kozowski, and Jordan DePaul for writing this tune. But when I heard it, I immediately connected with it right away because I've thought about that so many times, as an artist, but also as a fan of music. I resonate with that so much. When I hear a sad song, it's like, oh yes, this is the best comfort for me right now. And so as soon as I heard it, I resonated with it immediately, and I knew that other people would too.
Billy Ocean was the artist. That's the artist I was trying to think of. Most people know him from Caribbean Queen, but I still remember that song from back in the day. With this single, though, what's happening next? EP, album going to follow this?
Yes, we're working towards it. Of course, it's a little difficult with the pandemic still, but I am hoping to go back to BC and work with Brian House, who's been the producer on the last couple singles that I've done. And we have big plans for some more tunes, so hopefully I'll be able to travel soon and get some more new music out to all my fans.
Speaking of travel, any chance that you'll be doing any of the drive-in shows, because March is supposed to be a lot of drive-ins are supposed to be opening up throughout Canada, and of course we've got virtual performances happening too. any of those going to be happening with you in 2020?
Well, I am curious to see what some of the festivals are going to do this year. I was booked on a couple for 2020, and so we'll see what kind of path some of those take for 2021. But I also put on my own drive-in festival last year, which was called Harmonia Fest, and of course it's an all-female festival. So I'm working on plans for the drive-in Harmonia Fest #2 in 2021. So I hope to make that happen.
Amazing. Of course, the only way we're going to know about this is we got to follow you. So where do we go social media-wise to follow you?
You can check out my website, which is Nicole Rayy with 2Ys.com. I'm also on Facebook.com/Nicole Rayy Music, at Nicole Rayy Music on Instagram, and at NRay on Twitter.
Fantastic. Nicole, thank you so much for making time to speak with me. Congrats on all the stuff that you're doing. Congrats with the new single, and crossing fingers that somehow, some way, we need to speak in person, but we've got to make sure that it's safe when we're doing this. Thank you so much for the interview.
Yes, thank you so much, Rudy, and hopefully next time we chat, it will be face-to-face.
Be safe and definitely talk soon. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Who needs a sunny day to chase the blues away? Sometimes all that you want